years unfolded swiftly.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I've never made a video like this before, but I thought I would give it a shot. I just posted my Hamilton 1945 to 2020 video, and I've gotten a ton of great feedback, a few questions. So I'm just going to go through and explain why I made certain decisions and a little bit about the shots in my video. So the opening shot is actually a road where Sam Lawrence Park is now. There used to be a little bridge that goes over the Jolly Cut. It's no longer there, so I couldn't get the exact same shot. I also wanted to include more of Hamilton in the first shot, so you could kind of get an idea of the scale of it and how much development there has been in the last 75 years. These are actual people walking in Hamilton back in 1945 or 1946 when Earl Clark shot this video. It was commissioned by the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. It was produced by the Associated Screen Studios out of Montreal. So these are some shots I got while I was just out filming. A couple times a month, I go around the city and I just set up my camera and capture different aspects of street life. And I just used a couple shots that I thought sort of mirrored the shots from 1945. Now this shot of the train entering the GO station, I think Earl Clark shot it from one of the buildings on James Street, but I didn't have access. That platform up there is also off limits because of COVID. So I just used this shot of a train going by on the same set of tracks. I thought it was kind of cool because of the artwork on the side of the train car. This is a shot of the United Empire Loyalist statue. I'm not sure where he got this shot from. When I was filming this, all I could think about was what a bitch it must have been to move. This is a shot of a couple strolling through Gore Park from the old video, and I'll swear on a stack of Bibles, this shot was not set up. This couple just came walking down the exact same path. It was perfect. I'm always impressed by the things that I capture if I just set up my camera, whether it's something exciting or something endearing. Usually when I go out for a day, I find that I capture something interesting on camera, and usually just having my camera starts a conversation with someone. Now this is Main Street here. If it hadn't been for the Royal Connaught Building in the upper right, I would have not been able to place this shot. It looks so different from current day Main Street. At first I didn't know where it was, and then I realized that that was the old Connaught Building up in the upper right, and I was able to place it. I had to settle for street level in a lot of shots because a lot of the buildings that Earl Clark got his shots from are either not standing or inaccessible right now. So I had to settle for street level shots for a lot of them.
They see me rolling.
Sorry, I had to do it. So here's another shot of Main Street, facing east this time from around Bay Street. Again, so different that I wouldn't have been able to identify it if it wasn't for the church. Churches came in handy while making this. A lot of churches still standing, and I was able to piece together where everything is based on those churches. This is James, right where the parking lot is beside the CIBC building. If it wasn't for the clock and then another angle of knowing where that clock originally was, I wouldn't have been able to figure out where this was. The farmers market is so drastically different. That whole part of town is so different that I just decided to show a bunch of clips of the farmers market and then show a bunch of clips of the current day farmers market. I couldn't imitate shot for shot because the area is just so drastically different. John and King Street looks really different. I could have gotten the same type of shot because I know that Earl Clark got the shot from the Royal Connaught Building. The problem is now there are all trees in this part of town. And here is some time-lapse footage that shows the trees on the left side of the frame. I was from the same vantage point, but I couldn't get the same shot because of all the trees in the way. So again, had to settle for street level to get a shot of that intersection. But that's one of the things I love about Hamilton, is all the trees that we have. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've always loved trees, and the more trees, the better as far as I'm concerned. I wanted to have an overall positive vibe to the whole video. It's very easy to get mired down under the negative aspects and the flaws, but I didn't want to focus on that for this video. I instead wanted to focus on the positive aspects and the charm of Hamilton. And some people still see this video and they see it as a negative thing, all the cars, all the urban sprawl. Some of the feedback I've got is disappointment, like, oh, look at how things have changed for the worse. I don't necessarily share that feeling. I agree with it to a point. Yes, our city has a lot of flaws and a lot of negatives, but there are many great aspects, and one of those great aspects is the people. It's very easy to point to examples of negative behavior and use that to generalize, but I'm out in the city all the time. The amount of people who lend a helping hand and are friendly far outweigh the negative behavior. I thought I'd include some bonus footage here. I'm going to release a video of just the time-lapse footage that I did. I personally really like time-lapse footage. I think it's really interesting. So I'm just going to compile all the time-lapse shots that I got and release a separate video of just that on my second channel. I shot specifically for this video over the course of 2 months, and I got a ton of footage. The reason I didn't use these shots of Gore Park is because they were very similar to shots that I used for my video thanking the veterans. This shot I thought was kind of cool, but just didn't really fit the vibe of the video. In the lower left-hand corner, there's a guy helping another guy push a wheelchair onto the bus, but it was just a little too small. I didn't think people would pick up on it quick enough. Something I wanted to say about that, one of the criticisms I got about the video was that some of the clips were too short and that I was serving the music instead of serving the images. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. I spent so much time trying to pick a song that best fit the clips that I had. I didn't have access to the raw footage from 1945. I only had the clips that were in the video. Some of them are quite short, and I used every moment of them that I could. There are 2 or 3 clips in the video that I wish were longer. I had to work with what I had. So there you go, my first commentary video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please follow my Instagram at PennyORadical, and thanks for watching.